笨方法学BEC 之词汇必备。专题4：员工培训与生产工作。
Administrative. Your responsibilities will be mainly administrative. Administrative staff. Our company is lacking in administrative staff. Appeal. 1. The training about public speaking appeals to me in that I aim to be a leader and that makes speaking in public an important part of my career. 2. This used to be a marvelous company, but it has lost its appeal in recent years. A set of rules. Employees must abide by the set of rules of the company. Accept. I accept full responsibility for the failure of the plan. Accident and emergency room. A big factory should have an accident and emergency room. Accountable. Every employee should be accountable for his or her job. Achieve. The company's training program is achieving its objectives. Achievement. It gives you a sense of achievement if you develop an innovative product. Acknowledge. We have acknowledged receipt of the complaint letter. Act as. He acts as a middleman for British companies seeking contracts in China. Address. It is important to recognize and address the underlying causes of stress, or else the experience of stress will never go away. Adjust. Managers should adjust their managing style in a multinational company. Advantage. Let's now evaluate some of the most important advantage of a team. Agenda. The question of security is high on the agenda for this afternoon's meeting. Agent. She has worked as an estate agent among other things. Air conditioning. I wish our workshop had air conditioning. Alcohol. In our factory, tobacco and alcohol are banned. Allocate. 1. As project leader, you will have to allocate people jobs, or allocate jobs to people. 2. The company is allocating £100,000 for security. Allow for. Did you allow for staff absence when you drew up the work schedule? Annual leave. We offer new employees a good starting salary and 25 days annual leave. Apologize. The manager apologized for the poor service. Apology. She complained to the company and they sent her a written apology. Appoint. He's just been appointed as manager of the marketing division. Appointment. If he didn't have a secretary to remind him, he wouldn't keep any of his appointments. Arrange. I'm trying to arrange my work so that I can have a couple of days off next week. As a result of. 750 workers will lose their jobs as a result of company cutbacks. Assess. We need to assess whether the project is worth doing. Assign. The product recall has been assigned to our most senior manager. Assurance. The management gave their assurances that there would be no more job losses.
Assure.
The unions assured the new owners of the workers' loyalty to the company. At most. At most, the task will take a week. Attend. The meeting will be on the 5th of next month. We're hoping everyone will attend. Attend to. I always have so many things to attend to when I come into the office after the business trip. At issue. The point at issue is what is best for the laid-off workers. Attitude. He seems to have undergone a change in attitude toward work recently, and has become much more cooperative. Attraction. The opportunity to travel is one of the main attractions of this job. Attribute. Organizational ability is an essential attribute for a good manager. Average. Our company's profits are rising 4 times faster than the average company. Awareness. Environmental awareness has increased dramatically over the past decade in businesses. Background music. Some employees suggest that background music be played in the workshop. Balance. How do you keep work-life balance? Ban. Smoking should be banned in offices. It is said second-hand smoke is even more harmful than first-hand smoke. Be aware of. Have everyone be aware of his or her specific tasks. Be cooped up. It's such a tiny office. Don't you ever feel cooped up here? Be entitled to. The employer is entitled to ask for references. Be prepared to. She was prepared to take on the job, with all its associated risks. Be popular with somebody. She is the most popular manager with employees in the company. Bonus. Perks for this company include staff discounts and bonuses for manager. Boost. The compliments she received after the presentation at the company's meeting boosted her self-esteem. Briefing. In our company, managers have to attend a briefing once a month. Burnout. Many employees complain of burnout. Business. The majority of small businesses go broke within the first 24 months. Cabinet. Divide your files into different categories. Label and number them. Keep the files for daily use near you and the files for reference in a cabinet. Calculate. At some stage, we need to calculate when the project will be finished. Career counselor. Companies can support staff by providing career counselors. They are able to offer professional advice on career development. Career development. A counselor can be particularly helpful for your career development. Cause. They are examining the wreckage for clues about the cause of the factory explosion. Chance. There is a chance that your new workers won't be able to remember everyone's name after the tour with you, but you will at least have given other people the chance to learn who the new person is. Change. The training can help develop the skills that managers need to respond faster to change. Chaos. Ever since our secretary walked out, the office has been in a state of total chaos. Chemical. Each year, factories release millions of tons of toxic chemicals into the atmosphere. Clear. 1. It is rapidly becoming clear to me that I'm not suited to being a manager. 2. I need to get some fresh air to clear my head so that I can concentrate on my work. 3. Remember to clear the meeting room after the meeting is over. Code. Companies will be subject to a new code of conduct and stronger controls by local authorities. Coffee break. Workers should have coffee break in the morning and in the afternoon so that there will be less accidents. Collapse. Lots of people lost their jobs when the property market collapsed. Colleague. Her work is highly esteemed by all her colleagues. Collect. When we know all the facts, we'll be able to come to better decisions. So, we'll have to collect all the relevant facts. College degree. The applicants for this job are required to have a college degree. Come up with. I often come up with practical solutions when the company runs into difficulties.
Commence.
We will commence building work in August of next year. Commitment. 1. I'd like to thank the staff for having shown such commitment. 2. They were allowed flexible hours to meet family commitments. Common goal. Our common goal for this year is to increase our profits. Commute. I live far from the company and the commute is just killing me. Company bus. A company bus can make the journey to work much easier for the staff. Compatible. Each department in the company has its own mode of operation and none of them are compatible. Compensation. She received £40,000 in compensation for losing one eye in her work. Competitive. Business is very competitive. You've got to really push yourself if you want to succeed. Complain. He complained that his boss was useless and he had too much work. Complementary. My family and my job both play an important part in my life, fulfilling separate but complementary needs. Complicated. The safety rules are rather complicated to follow. Compromise. In a compromise between management and unions, a 4% pay rise was agreed in return for an increase in productivity. Computer. The marketing staff should know how to handle customers' orders by computer. Computer training. Computer training is necessary for new employees. Good computer skill will increase work efficiency. Concentrate. The company is concentrating its resources on developing new products. Concern. 1. The poor state of the fire escapes in our factory concerned me greatly. 2. Our immediate concern is how to get the job done before the deadline. Conducive. Such a noisy environment was not conducive to efficient work. Conflict. His outspoken views would frequently bring him into conflict with the general manager. Conflicting personalities. If team members have conflicting personalities, it will be difficult to work with one another. As a result, team effectiveness will be affected. Confrontation. There were violent confrontations between management and workers. Confusion. A spokeswoman blamed the confusion on miscommunication between the company and its customers. Consequently. The company is trying to reduce its costs. Consequently, any staff who leave are not being replaced. Connection. A good internet connection will increase your work efficiency. Consequence. The accident was the inevitable consequence of carelessness. Contact. Managers should maintain close contact with the staff. Contribute. It was a real team effort. Everyone contributed something to the success of the project. Cooperate. The two companies have cooperated in joint ventures for the past several years. Cost. 1. The supermarket chain announced that it was cutting the cost of all its fresh and frozen meat. 2. She has finally got the job she wanted, but at great personal cost. 3. The salmonella incident cost the poultry industry millions in lost sales. Counsel. In this company, counselors' responsibility involves counseling employees about all sorts of problems, including how to make sure your working environment is safe. Co-worker. You should keep good relations with your co-workers. Creative. He is a very creative programmer. Criterion. We're looking for a person with special ability, and this woman seems to fulfill all of our criteria. Cross-cultural communication competence 跨文化交际能力. Cross-cultural communication competence is of great importance in our company because there are many employees from various cultures. Crisis. Senior managers should have been trained for crisis management training. Current. I wouldn't work for them even if they paid me twice my current salary. Damage. His behavior has done serious damage to the company's reputation. Deadline. We're working to a tight deadline. Deal with. She's used to dealing with difficult customers. Delegate. As a boss, you have to delegate responsibilities to your staff. Detail. She refused to divulge any details about the plan. Develop. Managers, particularly those at lower and middle levels, also need to develop abilities and skills required for their jobs. Diary. Don't forget to write the date of the meeting in your diary. Discharge. 1. Large amounts of dangerous waste are discharged daily by the factory. 2. The new general manager promised to discharge his duties in a fair manner. Discipline. There should be tougher discipline in our company. Disposal. He is in charge of the disposal of hazardous substances in our factory. Document. This is an important document and should be kept securely. Do's and don'ts. The boss spent 10 minutes explaining all the do's and don'ts in the workplace. Double. 1. Company profits have doubled since the introduction of new technology. 2. The current rate for overtime is too low. I would like our company to offer double pay. Drawer divider. Use drawer dividers to separate the items in your desk drawers. This will make it easier to find everything you need. Eliminate. We eliminated the possibility that it could have been an accident. Emergency. During the emergency, many staff volunteered to work through the weekend. Emergency exit. Is the emergency exit suitable for wheelchairs? Emergency meeting. The company called an emergency meeting last night. Emergency team. Our company has an emergency team on standby. Energy. She always works with passion and energy. Entice. People are being enticed away from the profession by higher salaries elsewhere. Environment. We won't invest in any company that pollutes the environment. Equipped. They're not able to do the job because they're just not equipped. Evacuate. All the staff had been evacuated shortly before the explosion. Evaluate. Receiving feedback from employees helps us evaluate the training course. Examine. We need to examine how an accident like this can be avoided in the future. Executive. She is now a senior executive, having worked her way up through the company. Experience. It is important to consider experience when selecting a project manager. Explosion. 8 workers, including 2 female workers, were injured in the explosion. Exposure. She gradually became deaf after long exposure to noise in the workplace. External training. We need to recruit a training manager who must be familiar with internal and external training processes and have experience in training plan. Facility. The company should buy some sports facilities for the staff to work out their stress. Familiarize. An explanation of the office system will familiarize new employees with the rules of the new workplace. Faulty. Do you mean to complain about bad service or a faulty product? Favorable. 1. We have had a favorable response to the plan so far. 2. The new employee made a very favorable impression on us. Feasible. With the extra resources, the project now seems feasible. Feedback. There was a lot of positive feedback from employees, which was very encouraging. Fierce. The redundancy plans will face fierce opposition from employees. Filing. Her job involves filing and other general office work. Financial reward. They believe they will perform well even when no financial reward is present. Fire alarm. If the fire alarm goes off, leave the building calmly. Fire drill. Each year our company holds 2 fire drills. Fire extinguisher. Every office should have a fire extinguisher. First aid. Each of our staff has been trained for first aid. Flexible. The company should adopt a more flexible strategy on account of the changing market conditions. Focus. The focus of the inquiry was on faults in the company's safety procedures. Foresee. I don't foresee any dangers so long as we observe safety rules. Free time. Most managers are working too hard to have free time for family and relaxation. More free time will do good to them. From bad to worse. The company's financial situation is going from bad to worse. Handle. If you can't handle the job, I'll get someone else to do it. Hands-on. 1. She's very much a hands-on manager. 2. Many employers consider hands-on experience to be as useful as academic qualifications. Have take time off. I asked my boss if I could have some time off to go to the dentist. Hazard. Employees are expected to report any fire hazard to their supervisors. Hazardous substances. Some measures have been taken to reduce worker exposure to hazardous substances. Helmet. You cannot come into the building site unless you're wearing a helmet. High paying. Now it's harder for college graduates to get high-paying jobs. High voltage. There should be signs for high voltage in factory because it is dangerous. Hit. The retail sector was hit hard when interest went up again this month. Identify. The research will be used to identify training needs. Impact. 1. One of our subcontractors has gone bankrupt. This crisis will have an immediate impact on our project. We must hold a meeting right away, otherwise things may go out of control. 2. Falling export rates have impacted on the company quite considerably. Implement. The company is slow to implement the new safety rules. Importance. Our factory places great importance on safety. Inspection. The safety inspection should not be done by external engineers. Improve. He did a lot to improve conditions for factory workers. In detail. We haven't discussed the matter in detail yet. In case of. In case of fire, do not use elevators. Use the stairs. In conjunction with. We can work separately or in conjunction. Insistence. Insistence on better working conditions by the union has resulted in fewer employee absences. Instruction. My boss gave me detailed instructions as to how to do the job. Internet. If you have access to the internet, you can order online via our website. In practice. Your plan is good in theory, but I doubt if it will work in practice. In the long term. In the medium term. In the short term. This decision will cost the company more in the short term, but will be beneficial in the long term. Inhale. She became very ill after working in this factory for several years. The doctor said she had inhaled a large amount of dust. Insurance. The company has taken out insurance against injuries for staff. Intensive. I find intensive course for business English useful because I want to work in the foreign trade sector and English will be necessary for a great part of my work. Interest. 1. In the interest of safety, please do not smoke. 2. Team building interests me most because learning to work in a team and learning to lead a team are important qualities in the present-day society. Interfere. She was resentful of anybody's attempts to interfere in her work. Internship. Jane has a summer internship at a local TV station. Interpersonal. The successful applicant for this job would have excellent interpersonal skills. Involve. All members of staff should be involved in the decision process. Item. There are 3 items on the agenda. Job rotation. Job rotation can keep employees from getting bored and looking for another job. Job satisfaction. Many people are more interested in job satisfaction than in earning large amounts of money. Key. She was a key figure in the country's business world. Know-how. He hasn't got the know-how to run a company. Language training. Our business is expanding, and I find my English inadequate for the job. I hope I can have the English language training. Layoff. The recent economic crisis has led to massive layoffs. Layoff. 100 workers will be laid off to reduce costs. Lead to. His negligence had led to the great losses of the company. Limit. A limit on overtime is to protect the right of the employees. Look into. Some experts are looking into the cause of the fire in our factory. Loss. There will be substantial job losses if the factory closes down. Machinery. His hand was injured when he got it caught in the machinery. Maintain. The machines in the factory have been very poorly maintained. Maintenance man. Something is wrong with the machine. Could you send a maintenance man? Make sense. This plan makes economic sense. Make sure. Make sure the team goals and the expected time frame of the team's performance are clear. Make the most of. We should make the most of this good opportunity to raise the company image. Malpractice. The company's reputation was damaged after the allegations of financial malpractice. Manage. When you have a job as well as children to look after, you have to learn how to manage your time. Management Development Program. Management Development Program helps prepare managers to smoothly take up higher-level positions. It also helps to develop their right values and attitudes for working in the firm. Matter. Matters of pollution and the environment concern all businesses. Member. Attract members of staff with complementary skills, but at the same time, with matching or workable personalities and a good work attitude. Mental. This job requires considerable mental agility. Messy. How can you work in such a messy office? Minimize. We must minimize the risk of bankruptcy. Minor injury. Minor injury to the spine are common among these workers. Objective. Can the sales team achieve its financial objectives? Off-the-job training. The biggest advantage of off-the-job training is that the training can be conducted without the distractions often found at work sites. One-to-one. Is there a one-to-one relationship between pay levels and productivity? On-the-job training. Many of our staff lack on-the-job training. Operations Manager. Currently, the new venture is seeking an experienced and dedicated operations manager to oversee the overall operations of the business. Orderly. It's a beautiful, clean, and orderly factory. Organizational structure. The CEO may choose any operational structure that suits the needs of the company. Organize. She has been designed to organize the sales meeting. Orientation. A firm should give its new employees proper orientation and help them adapt to the new environment. The orientation may cover general information like the history, general regulations, and organizational structure of the firm, and specific issues like work hours and pay schedules. Out of control. The company's finance seemed to be spinning out of control. Overall. The overall situation in our company is good, despite a few minor problems. Overcome. He overcame all obstacles in his path to the top. Overheated. Things got a little overheated at the meeting. Overtime. 1. They're doing overtime to get the job done on time. 2. Everyone is on overtime this weekend. Overwork. 1. You look exhausted. I hope they're not overworking you. 2. Overwork may cause stress, which will result in headaches. Package. He will receive a compensation package worth $15 million over 3 years. Panic. His resignation has caused panic among staff. Participate. We want to encourage members of staff to participate in the running of the company. Part-time jobs. During the time of taking part-time jobs, you can identify your career interest and goals, which helps to choose your future jobs better. Paycheck. All of us know how important work is, not just for the paycheck, but for the peace of mind that comes with job satisfaction. Peak. Make the most of your natural clock. If your mental performance is at a peak in the early morning, then plan the most mentally challenging tasks for that time. Performance. At the end of each year, every member of the staff is asked by the company to appraise his work performance. Perk. A company car and a mobile phone are some of the perks that come with the job. Personal development. More than 70% of employees placed personal development above salary as most important to their jobs in a recent study. Pinpoint. They need to pinpoint exactly what skills are necessary for staff. Plan. The company recently announced details of its plan of expansion. Planning. Careful planning is essential if the project is to be a success. Pleasant. The office is quite bright and airy. It's a pleasant working environment. Practical. Qualifications are important, but practical experience is always a plus. Practice. What can European companies learn from Japanese business practice? Prefer. Self-motivated team player with good communication skills and self-managing skill is preferred. Premises. The company has expanded its premises with a new 10,000 square foot factory and plans to double capacity. Presentation. The speaker gave an interesting presentation on teamwork. Pressure. She's under a lot of pressure at work now. Prevent. To prevent reoccurrences of such accidents, we must take stricter safety measures. Priority. The management did not seem to consider office safety to be a priority. Prioritize. Employees must be trained to prioritize their work. Procedure. The company has new procedures for dealing with complaints. Procrastinate. You should never procrastinate the task assigned by the boss. Productive. A well-informed team will be more productive and creative. Professional skill. Professional skills training should be provided constantly to employees. Prohibit. Smoking is strictly prohibited in the warehouse, for it is a fire hazard. Project management. We are looking for a candidate with strong project management skills. Promising. How's your new venture going? It's looking quite promising. Promote. 1. The meeting was held in order to promote better understanding between the two organizations. 2. If I'm not promoted within the next 2 years, I'm going to change jobs. Proposal. Have you read Michael's proposals for the new project? Protection. Always wear goggles as a protection for your eyes when using the machines. Protective clothing. In the production area of our factory, all staff should wear protective clothing. Protective equipment. Raising awareness about health and safety has encouraged managers to provide workers with protective equipment and take some measures to improve conditions for workers. Qualification. You'll never get a good job if you don't have any qualifications. Qualified. What makes you think that you are qualified for this job? Quality. I don't think he has the right qualities to be a team leader.
Rapport.
We'd worked together for years and developed a close rapport. Recall. 1. The company issued a recall of all their latest cars. 2. The company said it was recalling one of its cars. Recognition. The team leader should give members recognition for their achievements. Recycle. The packaging of our products can be recycled. Redesign. The hotel has recently been redesigned and redecorated. Regarding. The company is being questioned regarding its employment policy. Regulation. The correct production procedure is laid down in the rules and regulations. Relationship. His job is to promote the relationship between the company and customers. Relax. 2 weeks after the company relaxed security at the factory, there was an explosion. Removal. There have been calls for the general manager's removal. Report. 1. We called the insurance company to report the theft of our equipment. 2. As you introduce your new employees, explain what job they will be assigned and who they will be reporting to. Responsibility. It's her responsibility to ensure the project finishes on time. Restore. He is trying to restore staff's confidence in his management of the company. Restructure. The company was restructured after it was acquired by its rival. Review. The company is reviewing its security after the robbery. Risk management. Managers should have been trained for risk management. Routine. In our office, there's no set routine at work, every day is different. Safety awareness. We should train our on-site technicians to raise their level of safety awareness. Safety measures. Safety measures have been taken to protect the employees in production areas. Safety record. Our company has the longest safety record in the industry. Second-hand smoke. Smoking is not banned in our company. Therefore, many employees suffer from the effects of second-hand smoke. Sector. In the financial sector, banks and insurance companies have both a lot of money. Selling technique. I'm interested in the training about selling technique because selling faces a high level of rejection and requires good skills. Self-employed. There are no paid holidays or sick leave if you are self-employed. Self-starter. We have found him to be self-starter who is motivated and duty-bound. Serve. He has served in the company for 22 years. Service industry. More than 70% of jobs in the area are in service industries, ranging from hotels to banking. Set. The new director has set a lot of changes in motion in our department. Set aside. Setting aside one night each week for recreation will make sure we are not weighed down by overwork. If we have some time each week for relaxation, we will achieve a better balance between work and life. Set goals. They have set themselves a series of goals to achieve by the end of the month. Set up. She set up a small business back in 2008. Share. Robert and I shared an office for years. Schedule. Don't fill every minute of your schedule with tasks. You need to allow plenty of time for interruptions, calls, and most importantly routine breaks such as coffee or lunch, which are vital to allow you to recharge and clear your mind. Shift. As the night shift leaves, the day shift arrives. Show somebody around. Let me know when you're coming to our factory and I'll show you around. Signage. You should pay attention to signage about proper handling, storage, and disposal of hazardous substances and materials. Site. Emergency workers at the site are still unable to pinpoint the cause of the explosion. Skill development. The training about skill development is helpful to me, from which I know how to develop my skills. Smoking area. To have a special smoking area will be good for both smokers and non-smokers. Socialize. Socialize with clients will promote a friendly and lasting relationship. Solution. Some consultants help you talk through your problems, but they don't give you any solutions. Specialization. The lawyer said that he was unable to help us because our problem fell outside his specialization. Specialized. New employees should have specialized training for specific jobs. Spokesperson. A spokesperson for the airline said that flights would run as scheduled. Staff meeting. We held a staff meeting this Wednesday afternoon to discuss the safety measures for next year. Standard. We have very high safety standards in this workshop. Statement. We were not surprised by their statement that jobs would be cut. Stress. Workers under a lot of stress may experience headaches, minor pains, and sleeping difficulties. Stressful. Assembly line work is physically demanding and stressful. Stuck. I hate being stuck behind a desk, I'd rather work outside. Subordinate. 1. The individual's needs are subordinate to those of the group. Subordinate. 2. He left the routine checks to one of his subordinates. Summarize. To summarize, we believe the company cannot continue in its present form. Supervisor. He has a full-time job as a supervisor at a factory. Sustain. A business model that relies primarily on online advertising cannot sustain newspapers over the long term. Systematic. We've got to be more systematic in the way that we approach this task. Take a holiday. Employees should not work for a whole year. They should take a holiday off, which will reduce accidents. Talent. You should do everything you can to get the most talented people on your team. The best engineers, designers, salespeople are hot commodities. Tailored. 1. The project clearly requires a tailored computer system. 2. If the training is tailored to the needs of the staff, it will be more effective and successful. Tangible. Other tangible benefits include an increase in salary and shorter working hours. Team. The members of a team will, in a pleasant environment, obtain satisfaction and knowledge from their team performance. Team building. We need people who are experienced in project planning, organizing, supervising, and possess team-building skills. Teammate. Cooperation between teammates is of paramount importance for the success of the team. Team spirit. In order to build team spirit, the team leader should let team members know that their personal goals only have a chance of being accomplished if the team accomplished its goals. Technical problem. There are still a few technical problems to be dealt with before the product can be put on sale to the public. Technique. 1. We have developed a new technique for detecting errors in the manufacturing process. 2. Experienced employees, in order to be more productive, also need training in more efficient techniques, methods, or skills. Terms and conditions of employment. When you sign the employment contract, you must read the terms and conditions of employment carefully. Time management. I believe one way to improve work efficiency is to train employees in time management. Tip. She gave me some useful tips about running a company. Tour. A guided tour of the company can make the new employees have an overall picture of the company. Trainee. For manager trainees, sitting in real management meetings would give them some first-hand experience for similar situations. Trainer. He works as a trainer for insurance company staff. Training. Training is vitally important to all employees. New employees need training to do their jobs well. Training course. She had almost no computer knowledge, so she signed up for a training course. Travel. I travel to and from work by train. Trusting. Managers should develop warm, trusting relationships with subordinates. Try one's hand at. He tried his hand at business in his early 20s and now he has become a successful businessman. Underperform. The company has underperformed for a long time. Update. We'll update you on the latest developments of the company. Upgrade. Our company's computer system is currently being upgraded. Up to. Everyone has his part to play, from the office boy up to the president of the company. Venue. The hotel is an ideal venue for conferences and business meetings. Ventilation. The factory has poor ventilation which cannot remove toxic fumes. Well-structured. This well-structured training course provides trainees with hands-on experience. Workshop. 1. This is a modestly equipped workshop. 2. Our company ran a stress management workshop last week. Workstation. Show them their workstation and where to get any supplies they might need. Work uniform. We are in the service industry, so good quality work uniform will not only make employees look better, but also boost the image of the company. Working conditions. Working conditions here are primitive. Working life. Working life in your company has become very stressful. Workplace. The survey asks workers about facilities in their workplace.